What's happening, Achievers? Ajit Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. Life is an illusion that is created with our mind by us. Now, my son came downstairs yesterday with a pack of cards and he said to me, "Daddy, can you show me a magic trick?" Now, I only have 3 magic tricks that I can actually do. So I demonstrated one. I grabbed the cards. I said, choose a card from the pack. He picked one up. I said, "Do not show it to me." Now from there, I started doing this whole act of reading his mind. I asked him to look at the card and try to memorize the card whilst putting my hands to my head. Then I lifted the pack of cards and I took a quick glance at the one at the bottom, at the bottom, and told him to place the card on top of the pack. And then I memorized this card. I put the card on top. I started shuffling them from the bottom to make sure that the 2 cards stay together. From that point, I opened the cards and started looking through the cards. And as the card that I memorized appeared, I knew his card was on top. I carried on, but I kept my finger in that place. And my son started smiling, thinking, "Yes, I got my father." And then all of a sudden, I flicked his card out onto his lap and said, "Whoa, a card just jumped out of the pack." And he looked at the card and he was amazed. He said, "Daddy, how did you do it?" And at that point, I had a decision to make. Do I keep the illusion that I had created alive in his head, or do I show him and teach him a lesson that he will remember forever? I decided to take the second option. I did that trick again 3 times, so it actually instills into him, and then I revealed how I actually did it. I explained to my son, the actual trick, the practical part is just me glancing at the bottom card and then asking him to place on top and then searching for it. But everything else that goes around encapsulating, creating the story, the act, is what creates the magic of the trick. Now, from that point, I said, "Son, this is exactly what we do with life. Life is just as it is. Things that happen in this life is just as it is. A small part, maybe 2%, something happens. But the illusion that we create, the perception that we have, the story that we build around it in our mind makes it pleasurable or painful for us. So we create the illusion. Now, this is also true if you've got a business. This is also true when it comes to marketing. Marketers are great illusionists. They can create a whole story around a product that you may have thought, I will want, but they will make you want it. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's bad if it's used as a con, and that's where the con artists get their ability, by creating a whole story around the small thing that is or is not the actual thing that you want. Now, if it's something that adds value to your life and will push you forward in achieving something, then the illusionist, the marketer, the person that's helping you out becomes a mentor, becomes someone that you can trust. If it doesn't, if it puts you in a situation where you get this thing, you believe this thing, this illusion that's been created, and then all of a sudden it does not fulfill on the promise, then it becomes a con and trust is broken. The big lesson here, and this is the main thing that I was trying to explain to my son, was when you want to instill an idea, sell a product, discuss something, help someone in their mind with something, all you have to do is figure out what the actual practical part is and then create a story an illusion to help, but the outcome must be to help. Now, please, 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 these techniques have been used and are used by con artists. So if you do go and start using this technique of illusion, creating a story to benefit yourself, then go away. Do not listen to me. I'm not part of your life. I do not want to be part of your life. But if you actually create a story around something that could help people, that can push society forward, something like Steve Jobs did with the Apple iPhone. He didn't come out and say, oh, look, here's the smartphone. You guys need this. He said, we do things different. He created a whole new concept. This is something that we have to learn when we want to help someone. Now, when we speak to people, there's three things that we can actually analyze. There's three areas when we're speaking to someone, and this is a huge teaching that I'm about to give away for free. People will be able to understand my brain a bit more, and I was explaining this to my son. There's three areas that when you're speaking to someone, and in a group this becomes a bit difficult, but when it's one-to-one, you can actually figure out exactly where a person is in their life. They are either discussing, stuck, or enjoying the present moment, which is the actual vehicle where they are. They are stuck, enjoying, or in conflict with a past event, which is basically an internal belief that is created for why they cannot move forward. Or they are stuck, enjoying, or speaking about a future event that has not occurred, like for instance, oh, I don't have enough money to do something. Oh, this is something that's probably not for me because whatever. Because it's more of a future based. That's an external belief, limiting belief, or a positive belief. Now, the illusion that can be created around something that you want to help someone, that you love, that you want to give advice to, or if you're selling a product, or you're selling your business, you're selling yourself, the three areas, again, is the vehicle, the actual vehicle, the situation that they're in, the present moment. The internal, it's something that I can't do. Why can't you do it? Because this happened to me. That's an internal. External is, I gotta ask my partner about that situation, because you're thinking your partner is gonna reject it, so it's a future based. So it's actually external. Now, once you know that, you can actually target or create a story around which area that person is in. And from there, you can actually help them and propel them forward. Now, con artists do use this because when they con you to buy something or to do something, they figure out exactly where you are in those three levels. The vehicle, the present moment, the internal, which is all the past things that you have, or the external, which is the future thing. Then they sell you in the idea by creating an illusion, and they become illusionists that instills a new belief through story inside of you. And you fall for it, and you take it, and then you realize the promise was not fulfilled. Please do not become con artists. Use this information for the good. This is something that's I use on a regular basis when I'm speaking to someone, but always to benefit them. If you ever think, oh, I can benefit from this, then you are selfish and you're a con artist. However, if you're adding value, you create a product for the good, for them, then you create a story around and create illusion like the magic trick with the mind. Then you are a mentor and a helper. So guys, really deep there. Something that's used on a regular basis that I use, but not for the con, but for the help. You will notice that I use this in my videos as well when I'm teaching. It's either going to be a vehicle or an internal or an external. through story. Now, this is something that you can actually start doing to help improve your relationship. Improving your relationship, there's both. Improving your parenting, you can figure out what is your child actually in the situation. Now from this, I'm just about to finish here. My son said, well, I also see, now this is where it goes slightly weird, I also see Pikachu on the buses at the moment because Pikachu, the movie, is about to come out. Is he real? And now here was a situation where I asked him, do you feel like he's real? And he said, yeah, I do. I feel like he's real. I said, then he's real. Because a belief is created by feeling. Manifestation, anything that you want in life, any goals that you're trying to achieve, is not just created by the idea, because many people have ideas in life to move things forward, to create something, to, oh, I had this idea in the past and I would have made millions. I've been there. I've had so many ideas that I could have created to better society, but I did not have the feeling that I could actually move it forward because I did not have the past experience. Now, when it came to past experience, I had an internal false belief. You getting this? It's also on yourself. But if you create the feeling through story for yourself in the situation that you are, that's holding you back, you can actually propel yourself forward. Are you stuck on the vehicle, the this is not for me type thing, or I cannot do this, whatever it is that I want to achieve? Or is it, I tried it before and I failed and I don't want to do it again? That's just an internal limited belief. Or I'm not going to have enough time with my children and I don't have enough money to actually do this. That's an external, because you're thinking about the future. Now that's holding you back. Create a new story, because once you do achieve what you're trying to do, you'll have much more time with your family. You will have a lot more money. And on top of that, you will still have time with your family. You just have to prioritize and create time by sleeping less, being more efficient, doing things faster. So when it comes to the wonders of life that children get to experience, we can experience it because we do experience it. This is the reason why we enjoy movies so much. When we sit down and put on a movie, life disappears and we start feeling the feelings of actually being in the movie, experiencing the movie. Once we start actually feeling that, it becomes a reality for that moment. And once it becomes a reality for that moment, it becomes real. It's real. And then when you switch it off, you come back and you do discuss it, you talk about it. But that's how movies are an illusion. Movie makers, they market it. They're marketers, they're illusionists. They create something that is not perceived as real, but it can be real. Well, it is real when you actually sit down and watch it, because you forget about life. Hence the reason why we go into cinema. So your mobile phones are switched off and no one can disturb you. There's really deep here. I've gone really, really deep. I don't usually go down this deep. Don't go down the rabbit hole, Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole this deep ever. So do watch this again. Do comment on it. I don't mind if there's a lot in there. But the concepts are the beliefs that you have, the illusions that are created, and how we can help others. But not only that, how can we help ourselves? But, and there's a big but, if these techniques are used to con people, then you will be punished, because what goes around comes around. And to be honest, do not watch any of my videos ever again if you're going to be using these techniques for a con. But if you are going to use this to better people's lives, to better your life with someone else together, then by all means keep adding value to people's lives, keep spreading the love. And just remember, we're one idea away from changing the future. Take care.